Good morning, guys. Today we want to start talking about solving subtraction equations. Alright, the three things you have to do to solve an equation is one, you have to isolate your variable. And all that means is you want to get the variable by itself on one side of the equation. Like yesterday when we had a plus 16 equals 34. I always put this line like here so that way you know it's very easy to see the left side and the right side of the equation. I wanted to isolate that variable a. That means I wanted the a to be the only thing on the left side. So to do that, you have to do the opposite operation, which means if it's an adding problem, the opposite of adding is subtracting. And today, if it's a subtraction problem, the opposite is adding. So if we go back up here to our example of a plus 16 equals 34, I want to get rid of this plus 16. The opposite of adding 16 is subtracting 16. And then the third thing comes in. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other. So here, I subtracted 16 on one side of the equation. That's why that line's sort of handy. You can see I only did it on one side. So now I need to subtract 16 from this side. And then that way it shows whatever you do to one side of the equation, you need to do to the other. Now, these two will cancel out. It's like if you had $16 and then you went out and spent $16, you would have no money. So there's no numbers left. So all that's left is that variable a. And then on the right side, I do the math. 34 minus 16 is 18. So this would be my answer. Now guys, there's never a reason to get one of these incorrect because you can always check yourself. Go back to the original problem. A plus 16 equals 34. We said A was 18. Put that in for A. Now, put in your calculator 18 plus 16. You should get 34. If you do, then you know this answer for A is correct. Now, today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do like y minus 19 equals 40 and x minus 13 equals 5. These are what we call subtraction equations because they're subtraction problems to begin with. So I want to solve for y. I draw that line. So it's very easy for me to see the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation. And it's very then easy for me to see whatever I do to one side, I did to the other. So I want to get that y by itself. So I want to get rid of this minus 19. To get rid of something, you do its opposite. The opposite of subtracting 19 is adding 19. And whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other. And I did them both in blue, so you would see that what I did on one side, I did to the other. Then these opposites cancel out. It's like like two stars meeting in the sky, and when they collide, they go cancel out, diminish each other, no more. So all that's left is y. And then on the other side, I'm actually going to add this time because that's what it tells me to do. And so 59. So again, go back to the original problem. And let's put in a 59 here for that y, because that's what we said y was. Put in your calculator 59 minus 19. You should get 40. So we know this is correct. Okay, so let's look here. I want to isolate that variable x. So I want to get rid of that subtract 13. To get rid of something, I do the opposite. The opposite of subtracting 13 is adding 13. And whatever I do to one side of the equation, extra, I must do to the other side to keep it balanced. Remember that balanced scale. So opposites, quad, crash, boom, disintegrate. And leave me just with that x. And then on the right side, I add, and I get 18. So let's go back down here, write the original problem. Let's stick in an 18 for that x, because that's what we said x is. Put in your calculator, 18 minus 13. You should get 5, because that is what x has to be. I hope this helps.